country and some of the best football played inside of Lincoln Financial Field. Up next, it's our main event between the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. Jake Elliott is out ready to kick this one away. And we're underway from Philadelphia. Here's Carter on the return. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. They're going to run it here. It's Bijan Robinson. And he will get this inside the 30.
A lot of times when we'll see defenses get so overcommitted to defending that inside run, vulnerable to the outside toss. And that's when things open up, and you can reset those downs.
47 yards. First down, Falcons.
So the big play has him well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. Throwing now on 1st down. Penix. Pass is caught. That's Darnell Mooney. And he's into the end zone for an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons take a 6-0 lead right away. Well, Brock, they could prove me wrong, but I don't think touchdowns are going to come that easily the rest of this game. But starting out, we all welcome the quick score.
Yeah, not a lot of energy exerted, right? Not a lot of their cards shown just yet. They only got a couple plays into their strategy, and they found.
And he misses on the extra point, so a good start for their offense, but not for him kicking it. Score stays at 6-0. Out to kick it away, here's Pinion. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Did not make an effort to even hit the landing zone, Brock, so they're going to gift him a drive starting at the 35. Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10.
No touch it. No touch.
They'll play action. Here's Hurts. And that's incomplete, but he might have done a little too much to cause that. Flag comes out, and this could be interference. He got too aggressive to try and stop that play, and they tag him for pass interference. Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. 1st down throwing for Hurts. Falcons driving in, and they're going to bring him down. And after one play, this drive might already be in trouble. That's going to push him back for 2nd down.
16.
We spend so much time talking about an offense and how they script their first 15 plays typically. But how about that defensive coordinator, that head coach? Heck, every player on that sidelines, you couldn't script it any better. Well, other than maybe taking the ball away, creating a negative play, creating a sack, creating offense now behind the chains. That's exactly how you're looking to start.
Now Hurts on 3rd and long. Has him on the quick hitter. Decent gain here, but short of the first. The rookie from Notre Dame able to take him down.
4th down.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
From the pistol, Hurts. Pass complete to Goddard. A solid gain there, gets him across the 45 before he goes out. They come through with 6, and they're rewarded for going for it on 4th down. Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. They go play fake with Hurts. He's looking for Dallas Goedert there. And it sets up second down.
Second and 10.
No touch. Trimmer. No touch.
They'll go from the gun with Barkley. Excellent play defensively as they get to him behind the line. That's going to bring up third down. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. Man, did he make an impact play.
Good opening drive to this point. They've got another first down at the 34.
Great, set. No touch.
Blitz coming here. Hurts. That's cut. It's Saquon Barkley. Good running here. He's across the 15. And he gets it in. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles tie it up late in the first. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. Well, no hesitations to start this one out, Brock. These guys came out slinging it. Seems like that's going to be what their offense leans on throughout this game.
Yep, don't see really any reason to get away from it as long as the results keep coming. The second drive, I think we'll all be watching that one. Will they mix in a little bit more run? Will they have to mix in more run, or could they continue to just shred this defense through the air?
Knock this through, and they'll take a lead into the break. The point after splits the uprights. And the Eagles literally won up that opening touchdown drive as they take a 7-6 lead here. Set for the kickoff. Here's Carter on the return. Making some progress here. Races past midfield. And they finally bring him down after a huge run back into their territory. So while they're in the huddle, partner, we've arrived at the end of our first quarter. It's the Eagles soaring to an early lead. We'll return to the link right after this. For our second quarter, it's Falcons football. They have 1st and 10. On first down, here's Penix. Short pass brought in. And he can't get there, but what a game. Down to the goal line, he's pushed out just a couple yards short. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I think every quarterback around the world would agree, Kate. You love throwing a short pass to a tight end and then give that guy a chance to show off his speed in the open field. He outruns defense to make it a much bigger game.
Robinson will not challenge for the end zone. He loses a bunch here. So some immediate revenge for that last play, Brock. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run the prior play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL, but it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock him behind the sticks. Job well done there.
Backed up to the 8 here. It's 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, Penix. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. So they'll be left with 3rd and goal.
That's going to be a play tomorrow. When they watch it on tape, they're going to be kicking themselves a bit. Okay, you get man-to-man coverage down in the red zone, you got to take advantage of it. It's hard. Zone coverage and the windows are so tight. You get man, you got to find a way to win.
Defense bringing in a 5th DB, 3rd and goal. 3rd and long for him here. Bails out of the pocket quick. And cut in the end zone for the Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons take a second quarter lead. That one not easy, Brock. Threading the needle there. There was a lot of traffic in the end zone, but he found his man.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised decision, but when you give your receiver a chance, that's what they love. And sometimes you just have to trust your guys are better than theirs.
And he makes the catch. The two-point conversion try is good.
Falcons 14, Eagles 7.
I always say about the NFL game, it's a game of matchups. And that time they get the matchup they want, and they go right to it. It's a risky call throwing it for two, but that risk pays off.
Bradley Pinion
Out to kick it away. Here's Pinion. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Hurts now from the gun. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. He was looking for A.J. Brown there. So that brings up 2nd down.
At the 35-yard line.
Now Hurts. It's a screen to Barkley. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. 12 yards on that play and a good call nets him the first.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete.
The lack of points and the lack of yards have just gone hand in hand here in the first half, and they both really trace back to the same root cause, an inability to consistently find and exploit any opening in what's been a very sound defensive game plan.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. To the air on 3rd and long. And the streak continues. Another one hits the ground. Well, no look on his first look of the game, and they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long.
Kate, as a quarterback, that is so rough. Incomplete, incomplete, incomplete. You're going to go to the sidelines, you're going to look at that tablet, and you're going to try to figure out how in the heck do we turn this around?
Hurts throwing again. This is good. Down the sideline. Going to be persuaded out of bounds right at that 40-yard line. Don't tell these guys the odds, partner. They call the right play at the right time. Gain 13 on 4th and 10. That's enough for a 1st down. Just 2 minutes to play here in our opening half. More football from the link coming up in just a moment. From the 40-yard line now, this is 1st and 10. Hurts yet again. He's got Smith again. And they get this down to the 28. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Offense is set. 1st and 10. And again, here's Hurts. Completed over the middle. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. They gain 11 on that play. And that'll be good for a Philadelphia 1st down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
And down he goes. The Falcons defense gets it done. And they've got a little extra distance now to make up here on second down.
Okay, that was so good, really, on two levels there defensively. Number one, with an athletic quarterback, you've got to keep him in the pocket. They did. And then more importantly, and in this case, you got to finish him. Job well done.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
And they can't connect on the third down deep shot. Love the courage they had to try it, but it's incomplete, and now we've got fourth down.
That's what I call complimentary defense right there. That pressure by the group up front, that leads to the incompletion and to the benefit of that secondary.
Fourth and forever coming up. They'll go. Hurts. He's trying to go deep again. And that's incomplete in the end zone. Could have been 6 points, but as that one falls, Brock, instead just a turnover on downs.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
Buying some time right. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
Okay, this quarterback gets out of the pocket, genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
19 Tiger.
Second and 10, Penix to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Now we'll try a deep shot down the left side. That's grabbed inside the 30. And he will get this inside the 30. The Falcons spend the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
I'll pick up the 44 yards on the play. And the Falcon is down.
So the big play has him well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. Penix now on first down. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Sidney Brown makes the play. And the Eagles might be able to get some points late after the interception.
Penix's pass intercepted. The Eagles take over first.
Let's see how they attack this first down, partner, from the 45. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. They don't connect there, and now just 3 seconds showing on the clock. Trying to find A.J. Brown, and now it's second down.
You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
And he's going to let this fly towards the end zone. And they will not connect. Took his shot there to end the half, but no dice. That's going to take us to the break. So we're through 2 quarters now. Still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. Out to kick it away, here's Pinion. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Starting on the ground here with Barkley. He does it. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles cut into the lead coming out of halftime. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. it on now to attempt the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Eagles tie things up at 14. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. On the return, here's D. Alford. Ooh, a big lick from the coverage team there, and that is going to stop things before they can get it to the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
Falcons getting ready. Here comes 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. They pick up 14 yards on that one, and that is good enough for Atlanta 1st down.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from 1st down to 1st down in just one play. But when you get that big play potential on the ground, geez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
Escapes the pocket. Along the sideline, and Pitts brings it in. And he's able to move past the 45 before going out.
Timing on routes change when you leave the pocket. It really does become, well, the schoolyard. And you got to scramble around. What a great adjustment to still deliver a clean ball.
On 2nd down, Robinson. And he's out of bounds after getting this one to the opposing 45-yard line. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the 1st.
And the Falcons, 1st down. 1st and 10.
Penix here from the gun. Throws into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nakobe Dean. And the Eagles will take over beyond their own 40. Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10.
At their own 41-yard line.
Hurts looking to throw. Short pass caught by his tight end. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
That's good for an Eagles 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Shotgun snap for Hurts. Finds the in route complete. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. It's 16 yards on that play. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
1st down, run with Barkley. Nothing doing on the outside there. No gain on the run. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's just about textbook defense and how to shut down an RPO. The coverage was tight, the numbers were up, and then the bodies were there to stuff that run before it could get going.
Finds him over the middle. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. It's a gain of 11. And there, that picks up the 1st.
That's another Eagles 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
From the red zone on 1st. Chased out to his right. Not enough on this throw. It hits the turf instead of his man. Not on the same page with his tight end. And now they face 2nd down.
No touch it. No touch.
Hurts. Falcons driving in, and they're going to bring him down. And it'll be third down coming up after this defense's third sack of the game.
It's double-edged sword. I totally understand. These quarterbacks today are so athletic, and they love to keep plays alive, but it can turn smaller losses into much bigger setbacks like we see yet again.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on third and very long. He'll throw it. Finds Barkley underneath. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. May still have 2 to work with in this final quarter. Well, tie game, and they want to be the ones to put this away. They're going for it.
180, 180. Tiger Hornet.
Looking to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles take a fourth-quarter lead. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups. And when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Here's Carter on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Atlanta about ready to go now. First and 10. Here's Robinson to start the drive. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. They get 22 out of that play. And that's a Falcon first down.
Those outside runs so critical for running back, quarterback, O-line to hit their targets. They got a target area to expose that defense and make the most of it. And that offense just put on display some teaching tape for it.
Only one play in, Brock, and this drive already at midfield. First down, and they go right back to it. And second down's going to be a good bit tougher. He can't even get back to the line. This play loses yards.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Philly. Falcons down by 7. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and an incomplete.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. That one's caught by Mooney. And they bring him down, but not before he advances it all the way to the 20. And forget that was 4th down. That is an impressive 22-yard pickup on any play. That gets him a first down.
A gain of 22 yards.
Running left is Robinson. And he's going to get forward for a gain of about 7 on that run in 2nd down.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
He's unable to get away from that tackle. Good work by the defense. Nothing gained on second down. Drive has gone 8 plays now as they face 3rd and 3. To throw. That's caught for the first. And he's going to get this down to the 9. That puts him in goal to go. The Falcons spend the first of their 3 timeouts. They can decide to play for the tie or win later. First, they've got to reach that end zone. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw. Buys time, rolling right. And he brings it in. Touchdown! And a big decision coming up for him now. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the 4th quarter that could go either way.
Comes the crowd swell. The home fans trying to will their defense to make the stop and save this win. Here he is to throw. He rolls to his right. And he's going to run in for 2. Oh, they gambled the entire game on that call. And now they're in line for the win. Now to kick it away, here's Pinion. Okay, well, that one's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else we got here today. So that football coming out to our 35-yard line. Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. Hits him on the out route. And this great effort winds up getting him well into enemy territory before he's brought down. Philadelphia's going to spend its 2nd timeout. And they're still going to have 1 left at their disposal.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. It's a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
That'll be incomplete, and the clock shows 10 seconds left. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that.
On him quick, and they bring him down. It's sack number 4 in the game for him. This one makes it 3rd down.
8-yard loss on the play. It's now 3rd down.
So the Falcons will fly home with a win on the road. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with the victory. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. A well-earned win for the Falcons as we say so long from Philadelphia.